on Saturdays thrill, college kings clash, chasing that wheel. Sundays bring the pros, big hits, big plays, NFL battles where legends are made. From rivalries fierce to underdog shocks, we break it all down. It's the Blitz and the Block. The field to the digital chain. Bitcoin's pumping, altcoins rain. Web3 waves and DeFi stacks. NFT drops and big market hacks. Insights you need, no hype, no fluff. Crypto decoded, we cover the tough. Yeah! The Blitz in the Block. Where football meets the blockchain. Let's dive in.
All right, welcome back to the Blitz and the Block. I'm Katie Randall, and I'm here with Crypto Joe and Crypto Dan. We've got a packed show today, so let's kick things off with some football, starting down in Florida. The Gators are projected to finish 6th in the SEC this year, which, it's not exactly lighting the world on fire, but it's a step up from last year's tie for 10th. I keep thinking about how much of a difference a single staff change can make, and now they've got Steve Spurrier Jr. back as an offensive analyst. That's a big legacy name, and honestly, I think it brings a little bit of that old Gator magic back to Billy Napier's staff. Joe, you're an SEC guy. What's your read on this?
Yeah, Katie, I gotta say, I'm always a little skeptical when folks start talking about legacy hires, but Spurrier Jr. does know his stuff. His dad's a legend, and he's been around the block himself. The Gators, they're not getting a ton of respect in the projections, but you look at their recruiting, linebackers, corners, they're stacking up some talent for 2026. I just wonder if it's enough to move the needle in the SEC, you know? That conference is a meat grinder, and Desmond Watson and Dallas Wilson, those seniors could be difference makers, but it's all about whether DJ Lagway can anchor that offense. I always say, you can have all the NIL deals you want, but if your QB can't deliver, you're stuck in the mud.
Yeah, and speaking of stuck, let's talk about the Dolphins. I was actually down at their camp last week. Don't ask me why. I just like to torture myself as an SEC fan. But man, it's been rough. Artie Burns tore his ACL, so he's out for the season. And that's a huge blow to their secondary. They brought back Cornell Armstrong, but, that's more of a patch than a fix. And then you've got Liam Eichenberg sidelined. Baron Matos with that scary injury. He's stable now, thank goodness. But the O-line is looking thin. It's like every time they get a little momentum, something else goes wrong.
Yeah, and the leadership question is looming too. Fans are really looking at Jordan Brooks and Minkah Fitzpatrick to step up, especially with all these injuries. But then you've got the locker room stuff. Tua and Tyreek Hill still working through their issues after last season's drama. I don't know. It just feels like there's a lot simmering under the surface. Dan, did you pick up on any of that tension when you were there?
Oh, for sure. You could feel it. Tua was trying to play it cool, but you can tell he's still not totally over what happened with Tyreek. And with Jalen Ramsey gone, the secondary's in flux. There's even talk about bringing in Rasul Douglas to stabilize things, but, that's just rumors for now. It's wild. 1 minute you're watching drills, next minute you're hearing about another guy going down or some new free agent rumor. It's like, can they just get through a week without a headline?
That's Miami for you. Always something brewing. But hey, at least it keeps things interesting for us, right?
Absolutely. And, as much as the Gators and Dolphins have their issues, there's always that sense that 1 or 2 changes could flip the script. All right, let's shift gears. Because if you thought the Dolphins week was wild, wait till you hear what's happening in crypto. But first, here's a little public service announcement. When we discuss cryptocurrency, we are not providing financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Therefore, please conduct your research before investing in any product or service. I hope that we made that clear. Take it away, Dan.
So, Bitcoin. Whew. It's been a roller coaster. We saw it drop below 115K, like $114,600 at one point, after Galaxy Digital started moving thousands of Bitcoin to exchanges. That triggered over $500 million in liquidations in just 24 hours. That's a lot of folks getting wiped out. And it's all because of these so-called OG coins moving for the first time in, 14 years? It's wild to see that kind of old supply hit the market all at once.
Yeah, and the RSI, Relative Strength Index, just tanked. I saw it hit single digits on the 15-minute chart, which, I gotta be honest, I don't think I've ever seen before. Usually when you see RSI that low, it's like, okay, maybe we're due for a bounce. And sure enough, we're starting to see some bullish divergences. Folks are eyeing 117K as the next upside target, maybe even 127K if things really get moving. But, there's still talk about a possible correction down to 98 koi if things go south. I'm not saying it'll happen, but you got to keep it in mind.
It's so much like sports, honestly. You get these big swings, and everyone's trying to call the next play. Joe, you always talk about LSU fandom superstitions. Does this kind of market action remind you of those last-minute Hail Marys?
Oh, absolutely, Katie. I mean, you see these whales, big holders, moving coins, and it's like watching a coach call a trick play with 2 seconds left. Sometimes it works, sometimes it blows up in your face. I remember back in the day, LSU would be down by 6, and you'd see folks in the stands clutching their lucky beads, praying for a miracle. That's what it feels like watching Bitcoin right now. You got Galaxy Digital dumping, but then you see the RSI creeping up and you start thinking, maybe, just maybe, we're about to turn this thing around.
Yeah, and the analysts are split. Some are saying, hey, this is just a cautionary phase, not full-on panic. There's still bid support around 114.5K, and if we get enough absorption of that selling, we could see a rebound. But, if it breaks down, 98K is the next big support. It's one of those time-to-watch moments. Nobody wants to be the last one holding the bag, but nobody wants to miss the bounce either.
And meanwhile, you've got all these macro factors: regulation, institutional money, even rumors about SpaceX moving Bitcoin. It's just nonstop. But hey, that's why we love this space, right? Never a dull moment. Speaking of never dull, let's talk about what's happening with Ethereum, XRP, and the NFT market, because there's just as much drama there.
All right, so let's start with Ethereum. ARK Invest, Cathie Wood's shop, just dumped $12 million in Coinbase shares and turned around to put $116 million into Bitmine, which is this Peter Thiel-backed Ether treasury firm. That's a pretty big signal that the big money is looking at Ethereum, not just Bitcoin. And the numbers back it up. Ethereum's been outpacing Bitcoin in inflows lately, especially from institutions. It's like all of a sudden, Ethereum is the hot ticket again.
Yeah, and you can see it in the price action too. Ethereum is holding up better than Bitcoin, and the ETF pipeline is getting more attention. Meanwhile, XRP's got its own drama. Chris Larson, one of Ripple's co-founders, just moved $175 million worth of XRP to exchanges right as the price was peaking. That's not exactly subtle. The community's split. Some folks are calling it dumping. Others are saying he's just decentralizing his holdings. But I mean, the timing is, let's just say, not great for the average holder.
Yeah, and XRP dropped 14% right after that move. It's wild how much one wallet can shake up the whole market. But, some analysts still think XRP could break its 2018 high if the broader market turns bullish. It's all about momentum and capital rotation from Bitcoin into the alts. No unique catalyst for XRP, just riding the wave, basically.
And then there's the NFT market. I mean, talk about a comeback. Overall, NFT market cap jumped 66% in the last month, up to $6 billion. CryptoPunks alone are up 29%, and one whale just spent $4.3 million sweeping up rare punks, especially those hoodie ones. It's like, every time you think NFTs are dead, someone comes in and drops millions. Reminds me of those high-stakes trades in sports, like you're down to your last out in a softball tourney, and you just swing for the fences. Sometimes it pays off big.
Totally. I've seen teams go all in at the end of a tournament, and it's the same energy. High risk, high reward. The NFT market's still way off its 2021 highs, but this kind of action shows there's still life in the space. And with CryptoPunks now holding over 30% of the NFT market share, it's clear the OGs are still leading the charge.
Yeah, and it's not just punks. Pudgy penguins, bored apes, they're all seeing big jumps. But the market's still a long way from the old boom days. Still, it's a good reminder that things can turn around fast. whether it's NFTs, altcoins, or even your favorite football team.
All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of The Blitz and the Block. We covered a lot. Gators, Dolphins, Bitcoin drama, and the wild world of altcoins and NFTs. Thanks for hanging out with us. Joe, Dan, always a pleasure.
Always fun, Katie. Y'all take care, and let's see what next week brings, on the field and on the blockchain.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Don't forget to keep your eyes on those charts, and maybe your favorite team's injury report too. See y'all next time.
All right, bye everyone.
The plays have been called, the charts have been checked. From the gritter and hits to crypto's tech. Touchdowns scored and tokens rise. We've covered it all, no compromise. Stay locked in as the seasons turn.